What are some of the most anticipated PS5 games for the remainder of 2025? Well, let's find out. Hello folks, it's Aiden here from Push Square, and today I've got a list made up by the readers of the Push Square website with over 6,000 votes, narrowing down 20 of their most anticipated games. Before we get started, remember to hit that subscribe button if you'd like to see more content like this, and with that, let's get into 20 of the most anticipated PS5 games of the remainder of 2025. Sword of the Sea kicks off the list, a beautiful looking adventure from the people that brought you Abzu and Journey. With the composer of Journey returning to hopefully cook once more, Sword of the Sea mixes gorgeous visuals and basically a skateboarding mechanic with its sword-like hoverboard. It's dropping on PS5 August 19th and will also be available on PS Plus Extra Day 1. Man, I feel like I have been waiting on this game forever, but The Wolf Among Us 2 takes our number 19 spot. I remember the days when the first season had come out, me and a couple of mates sat in for a handful of Friday nights to play through the game, and this was on the Xbox 360. That's how long we've been waiting for this game. But this sleek, dark, and neon-lit take on the fairy tale characters is hopefully going to be worth it, even if we still don't have a release date. Nothing better than some good old nostalgia with Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 and 4. I was never really a Tony Hawk guy, maybe a session or two at a friend's place, but I can appreciate a chill game to grind out. There are new parts to skate around in this remaster, an expanded Create a Skate and Create a Park modes, and of course an iconic soundtrack. It's coming to PS4 and 5 July 11th. Venturing back once more into the violent world of Dying Light with Dying Light the Beast, a somewhat spin-off sequel that sees the return of original protagonist Kyle Crane. With an old holiday resort fallen to the hordes of undead, Kyle will run rampant across the Castor Woods as part parkouring survivor and head-tearing beast. This one is playable in 4-player online co-op, has the classic day-night cycle, and supposedly recaptures what made the first game so special. It's dropping on PS5 August 22nd. WUCHANG Fallen Feathers is a Souls-like set during China's Ming Dynasty, where as an amnesiac pirate, you'll face off against monsters. As you would expect, there's a big focus on combat here, and even more so on the mythical boss fights, which will supposedly push you to your limits. Anyway, it's coming out on PS5 July 24th. Tasked with saving your younger sister and the whole world for that matter, Lost Souls Aside is a single-player action-adventure RPG with stylish, high-octane combat that mixes flashy spectacle with dynamic attack combos. It's a real looker, this one, and is promising to be a proper epic odyssey, so let's see if that's actually the case when it launches on August 29th. Shinobi is back in the form of a brand new 2D action platformer where you play as Shinobi Joe Musashi, a master of the ninja arts hell-bent on revenge after his village is burnt to the ground. It looks like some good old-fashioned simple fun, and you can play it on PS4 and 5 when it launches the same day as Lost Souls Aside actually, on August 29th. Borderlands is back in this 4th mainline entry, this time with a new planet and a bit more of a serious tone. However, what remains is the top tier first-person gameplay with an unending amount of loot. You can shoot your way through its campaign with 3 other players in online co-op or in 2-player split screen. Borderlands 4 is dropping on PS5 with a new date of September 12th. The Outer Worlds 2 is an Xbox published title from Obsidian Games that's making its way to PS5 October 29th. This is the much expanded sci-fi sequel from the 2019 RPG, where Obsidian has basically gotten the budget that the game actually needs. As a result, you have more ways to play out missions, there are more character skills to progress, and the overall feel of gunplay and traversal has been improved. I never checked out the original, but this one looks like it could be a lot of fun. Talk about the return of a classic. Ninja Gaiden 4 makes its way to PS4 and 5 this year. bringing back some manic hack-and-slash gameplay with your boy Ryu Hayabusa, and a new protagonist in the form of Yakumo. We've seen Ninja Gaiden get the modern coat of paint with the Ninja Gaiden 2 remaster, but this will be a new experience built for modern consoles, and I reckon that'll be a real treat for longtime fans. Cracking the top 10 and arriving on PS4 and 5 September 30th, we have Final Fantasy Tactics: The Invalid Chronicles. This game marks the triumphant, enhanced return of this tactical RPG, which originally released back in 1997. This remaster will come with the same brilliant story, strategic battles and job system, but will also be built out with new content and features like a new user interface, voice acting, and of course updated visuals. But the really nice thing here is that if you just prefer the original, you can switch back to that too. Probably one of my most anticipated games of the year, Cronos: The New Dawn is a dark sci-fi survival horror game from Bloober Team, the devs that are hot off of the heels of the brilliant Silent Hill 2 remake. This one is looking kinda weird, it's looking kinda gross, but in the best kind of ways, and in all honesty, I'd quite happily go in blind. The aesthetic and the gameplay look right up my street, and I can't wait to play the game later this year. Well, let me tell you, this is a weird one to be included in this list, but Gears of War is heading to PS5 in the form of this reloaded remaster. Relive this classic in stunning 4K resolution, either yourself, in online co-op, or in split screen. And what's even better is that the iconic multiplayer mode will feature in this remaster with 120Hz support, full crossplay with other platforms, and even cross progression. Gears of War Reloaded is heading to PS5 August 26. Crimson Desert is a wildly ambitious looking open world action adventure set for release on PS5 later this year. It's a big old fantasy world filled with warring clans, floating cities, and a wee dragon or two. I can't lie, graphically it almost looks too good, so I'd actually like to see it running on a PS5 before I'm fully sold, but a lot of you are hyped for this game and I'd be lying if I said I wasn't curious. Hell Is Us is easily my most anticipated game of the year, taking some soulsy combat and mixing it with an explorable setting that requires you to actually pay attention, not just to your surroundings but what others have to say. There's no map or traditional questlog system, so you aren't just being told where to go and following a path. It's encouraging you to immerse yourself in its setting of Hadia. I can't wait to check it out when it drops on PS5 September 4th. We're into the big boys now, the top 5, and we're starting off with Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater. Widely considered to be one of the absolute best games in the Metal Gear series, this remake may not have Hideo Kojima's name attached to it, but outside of some new multiplayer shenanigans, Konami and Virtuos are sticking as close to the original vision as possible, and surely that's for the best. Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater will launch on PS5 August 28th. Promising to ditch the open world busy work that bogged down Mafia 3, Mafia the Old Country is set to be a story driven banger. The hope is that by scaling back its scope, this long awaited sequel, which is technically a prequel, serves up a slice of single player excellence bolstered by its intense storytelling and some memorable set pieces. Mafia the Old Country is coming to PS5 on August 8th. The Silent Hill revival is in full swing, and Silent Hill F is doubling down on being truly creepy. Now, while we don't know an awful lot about the full scope of this potentially terrifying escapade, everything we've seen of it suggests tightly designed old-school survival horror. So, who would have thought not one but two Konami titles would make the top 5? Imagine going back a few years and telling someone that this once despised Japanese publisher would be threatening to enter some new kind of golden age. Well, madness, but I'm all here for it, and Silent Hill F launches on PS5 September 25. Well, you don't have to wait too long for this one. Out on PS5 on June 26, Death Stranding 2 on the Beach seeks to expand upon everything that its predecessor did well, and that includes the sheer strangeness of the characters and world building. It's hard to envision a timeline where this sequel isn't another classic from Kojima. With the engine, core gameplay and storytelling style all nailed down in the first game, I am fully expecting On the Beach to blow minds with utterly unpredictable plot points and shocking revelations. Sometimes that's not for me, sometimes it is, but I do love the gameplay of Death Stranding, and if Death Stranding 2 expands upon it, even better. Well, let me tell you, I was not surprised to see Ghost of Yotei make it high up this list, but I really didn't expect it to sweep the competition quite so easily. Almost doubling the popularity of Death Stranding 2 in second place, this PS5 exclusive, which launches on October 2nd, managed to rack up more votes than the vast majority of games in our poll combined. Now, I love Ghost of Tsushima, but it is quite easy to see how a sequel could improve on Jin Sakai's journey. More in-depth combat, a more dynamic, interactive open world, and perhaps more nuanced narrative. Yotei should be a home run for Sucker Punch, and it's your most anticipated game for the remainder of 2025. So there we have it, 20 of our most anticipated games of 2025. Let me know down in the comments what you can't wait to play this year. Now, I was a little disappointed not to see Ark Raiders in there personally, but you know, that's one for me. So let me know what your missing pick is down below. Anyway, thanks for watching. Remember to like and subscribe, and until next time, I've been Aiden, and this has been Push Square.